Hey, this is Bobby Koelble from Death and Death to All, and you're watching Ondes Chocs. Choc, 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 choc.
Au studio Musi-Québec à Québec évidemment, et puis on a la grosse visite de Floride juste à côté de moi, c'est Bobby Koelble. Koelble. There you go, I got it. There you go. J'ai beaucoup de sujets à parler avec lui, puis je vous mentirai pas que je veux pas que ça dure si longtemps que ça l'entrevue. Je veux parler de dette, je veux parler de l'hommage qu'il va avoir ce samedi le 17 à la JT, parce que c'est District 7 qui produit ça, mais surtout je veux parler du nouveau projet qu'il va avoir avec Antoine Barry. Ils savent même pas encore le nom, mais j'imagine qu'ils savent un petit peu les sonorités. Bobby?
How are you, dude? I'm doing good, man. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Great.
You're here in Quebec, you're usually in Florida.
Yes.
Why are you here?
Because I love the cold weather.
yeah.
I didn't get enough of it in Florida, so I had to come up here to get more.
There you go.
That's not true. I am actually here, well, I'm in Canada for a couple reasons, actually. The main reason I'm here is because I'm playing with Nader Sadek. We're going to be rehearsing in Montreal, and then we're going to be playing a show in Montreal on May the 20th.
Yeah.
And while I'm here, I actually came up a little early so I could get together with my friend Antoine from Symbolic and Contemplator. And he's been a friend of mine for a long time. And I came up to hang out with Antoine and to record some music. And hopefully some music that you will hear sometime, hopefully before we all die.
And the weirdest thing is that you won't be at the Symbolic show on Saturday. You'll be in Montreal. You'll be jamming with Nader Sadek, with Flo Mounier at I imagine the Grid. Is that it? You're gonna be playing at the Grid?
I'm not, honestly, I don't know what the name of the venue is in Montreal.
Oh no, it's just jamming with Christian Donaldson.
Oh yes, yeah,
Is that it?
yeah, exactly.
It's in the studio.
Oh, it's in a rehearsal studio?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Yeah. Well, j'y montre de quoi, je capote un peu. Okay, you've been before we talk about the new project in Nader Sadek, you've been playing, of course, on Symbolic with Chuck Schuldiner, and I think everybody has the same question: how awesome was Chuck? But at the same time, Chuck was choosing different players for every album or something like that. When you went on to go onto the Symbolic album, how did that came about? How were you chosen to do that album?
Okay, well, I actually met Chuck many years ago when we were both in high school. We didn't go to the same high school, but I met him back when we were both in our different high schools because we had a mutual friend. And we got together at this guy's house and we would listen to metal, so we both knew each other from back then. So when the time came for the Symbolic album and for the Symbolic tours, he asked a friend of ours that worked in a music store in Orlando if he could recommend anybody. And this friend of ours, this guy named John from a band called Pain Principle, recommended me. And then Chuck's like, oh yeah, I know that dude, from a long time ago. So we already kind of had a rapport with one another. So when he called me, he was like, dude, you remember that time we hung out at David's house? I'm like, yeah, dude, I remember. He's like, yeah, dude. I'm like, yeah, dude. And so that's kind of how it started, And then
there was a lot of dude involved, yeah?
Yeah, Chuck definitely, dude was one of his words for sure. When you talk to Chuck, he sounded like he was a surfer dude from Florida,
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he didn't surf, but he definitely sounds like when he talked, you could definitely tell he was from Florida. And yeah, so we got together and jammed, and it was killer, man. It worked out well. We got along well, and I was just, very lucky to be a part of it, man.
But how involved were you? Because in a way, Chuck wrote all the music, but were you involved in the actual composition of the music, the written part of the music?
No, I actually wasn't.
You were not?
No, I actually wasn't. I only played solos on Symbolic. Chuck wrote all the music. It got to a certain point in the band where Chuck pretty much, did all the music, pretty much, it always was his band really, but from Human on, he wrote all the music, and it was very much like he would hire, musicians to come and play, and that's cool. I completely accepted that. I loved the music. I thought it was killer, and I was just happy to come and contribute solos to it, you know. So, but I wasn't a part of the composition process. No.
But were you in agreement that would be a one-time deal for this album and this tour and that's it?
I don't think he ever had any intention of, you know, that being Death's last album. But honestly, when the Symbolic tours came to an end, that was going to be the end of Death. He really wanted to move on to Control Denied.
Okay.
He wanted to do something different with a different type of vocalist. And of course, as we all know, you know, when he got onto, I think it was Nuclear Blast, they decided to put out another Death record. But at the time, that was, you know, when Symbolic the tours were over, that was pretty much the end of the band for that period of time, you know. So when I joined, it wasn't like, yeah, you're just going to be here for this one album and these tours. It wasn't like that at all. He's just like, yeah, you want to join the band? I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, I want to join the band. You know,
yeah.
And that's kind of the way it ended, though. You know, and then of course he went on and did the Control Denied record, and then eventually another Death record too. You know, so
cool. And now you have Symbolic in Quebec City, of all places in the world. In Quebec City, you have Symbolic that's doing like this homage, this tribute to Death. And you were there on the DVD that was shot at the Imperial in Quebec. And you're not going to be there.
No, I'm not going to be there this time, man. I'm going to miss it by one day. One day.
And what was your experience? Do you think that it was maybe the best thing that could ever happen as a tribute for the band? The quality of the band?
Well, you know, all I can say is it was a very well done production, a very well done performance. There's a lot of Death tribute bands out there, and you know, some of them are really, really good. You know, but this one, I mean, it's the best one I've heard, from, you know, in my own opinion. And again, the whole production was very well done. You know, they really do justice to the music. When they initially contacted me and I heard it for the first time, I was, you know, very impressed and definitely, you know, wanted to participate because I really thought they did the music justice. And the DVD came out really, really good. I think it's a very fitting tribute to Chuck and his music.
Yes,
you know,
it is.
I think he would definitely be very, you know, pleased with the outcome.
There you go.
Yeah, man.
Cool. And you have Nader Sadek, of course, that you'll be on May 20th?
May 20th.
There you go, May 20th.
Yeah.
How did Nader Sadek came about? Were you like involved from right from the beginning?
No.
Okay.
I met Nader on the Death to All tour in 2012. He came to a show, it was either in New York, I think it might have been in New York, that he came to the show in New York and just introduced himself and kind of asked if I would ever be interested in, you know, contributing any solos to one of his projects. And I was just like, well, you know, maybe, I mean, just contact me and we'll see. Because I didn't know him at all and I hadn't heard it, you know. So he eventually contacted me and I heard the Into Flesh album, you know, and he told me some of the musicians that he had involved. You know, he told me that Flo from Cryptopsy was involved. He was just an unbelievable musician, and that was very appealing to me. You know, so I heard the music and I thought it was very well done. And you know, he contacted me about not only contributing a couple solos, which I'll be doing hopefully very soon, but he also contacted me about doing the show in Montreal and then a couple other shows in Europe. We're going to be doing 3 shows in Italy, 1 show in Switzerland, and then 1 in Paris.
Wow!
Yeah, so it's a very short run, you know, my involvement is just very limited, you know, but again, I thought the music was extremely well done.
But there is a new album coming out, right?
There is a new album coming out. I don't know how many songs are going to be on it, but I will be contributing. I think I'm going to be contributing 2 guitar solos. Well, I'll be playing on 2 songs, put it that way. There might be more than 1 solo, but yeah, so.
Cool. And of course you have this new project with Antoine. What can you tell us about this? I don't think there's a name yet.
No, we don't have a name for it yet.
Okay.
It's called Old Shock Fucking Rules.
Yeah!
Let's stop it right now. It's going down.
Yeah.
Mark my word. No, we don't have a name for it yet. You know, I've known Antoine since our collaboration in Symbolic. And after a certain point, you know, when I felt like, you know, because I was out of heavy metal for a long time, after a certain point when I decided I was ready to, you know, maybe write and record some metal stuff, you know, Antoine kind of caught wind of it. He said, hey man, I would love to help out with some drums and some production. And I said, well, you're an asshole. I can't do that.
I was going to say that on my next question. Fuck you, man.
He's a great guy.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Okay,
no,
he's
he's
not.
not. He's an asshole.
Yeah, he's an asshole. He's a great guy and a very talented multi-instrumentalist, and so I started sending some demos of my stuff to him, you know, and he started, you know, working with some MIDI drums and getting things organized. But the thing is, you know, I live in Florida, he lives here.
Yeah.
And it was just coming along very slow. You know, so, but nonetheless, we had accumulated like 8 songs, about 8 songs, a full, you know, album's worth of songs, you know.
Very cool.
I'm old, so I say album, you know, I'm still of that concept that it's like one big group of songs that we call an album, and you hold it like this and you put a little needle on it. But anyway, when the time came to come up here and do the, you know, the rehearsals for Nader stuff, it was the perfect opportunity for me to come up here and actually spend some time in the studio with Antoine. So that's what we're doing now. You know, we got, again, I don't know if all 8 songs are going to be recorded. We're going to record as much as we can.
But what does it sound like? Is it like a progressive death metal, or is that maybe more hard-hitting and more to the point?
Have you heard of Lady Gaga?
Yes, I did. Yes,
okay,
I did.
well,
Yes, I did.
it's nothing at all. Okay, it's just metal, man. I don't know how really to describe it or what to compare it to. You know, it's definitely got a little bit of an old school thing, but I think it's also got, you know, more, you know, modern kind of elements to it. You know, it's going to be heavy and fucking groovy, and the guitar solos are going to be shit. It's going to be terrible.
Shredding.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing musical at all, you know. But hopefully Christian, you know, from Contemplator is going to be involved as well.
On bass?
Yeah, exactly, on bass. And a vocalist, a friend of mine from Florida, whose name is Chuck Ellis, who plays in a band called Gargamel. He actually goes by the name Man Daddy, and he's a cool man, Daddy. Very talented vocalist, very versatile vocalist. He'll be involved with it too. And again, we don't have a name for it. We don't have a name really for the songs yet.
No timetable too?
It'd be nice if it was done by this year, but we'll see. You know, Antoine's a busy guy. You know,
he's not.
No, he's not. Yeah, exactly.
No, he's not.
In fact, right now he's not doing anything. He's just kind of looking at me like.
It's just jamming
Yeah.
and playing air guitar.
Yeah.
Look at how I'm playing guitar, man. Look at
exactly.
how.
You know, I don't just play drums.
But I like the fact that you mentioned that I still call this an album. What do you think about this industry right now? Is there a reason why you don't play heavy metal at this time?
No, not necessarily. I mean, one of the main reasons that I just kind of got out of playing heavy metal is just because I got into other things. I've been into jazz for a very long time, and that's what I spend most of my time and energy doing. You know, back in Orlando, I actually teach a lot. I teach on the college level. I teach at the University of Central Florida.
Wow!
College. Yes, exactly. Don't let my looks fool you. I'm actually a college professor. But I tried. Great. Now the college is like, oh, great. This guy is just presenting us. Yeah, I know, exactly. So I'll try to keep my bad language to a minimum from here on out.
No way. No fucking way, man. You can swear. There's no problem at all.
Gotcha. You know, but that's really mainly what I've been involved with for the past several years. And, you know, I also work as a freelance musician doing other things. Some of them good, some of them not so good, you know. But again, I've been mostly concentrating on jazz and fusion-y kind of stuff. I have my own fusion band in Orlando, the Absinthe Trio. I played with the bassist Dave LaRue, who played with Steve Morse for many, many years and has toured with Joe Satriani. And he plays with John Petrucci from Dream Theater. He's a very heavy cat. You know, so jazz and fusion stuff is mostly what I've been into for the past several years. You know, but as far, that's not really, you know, again, playing with Symbolic was part of, you know, the band Symbolic. You know, it was part of kind of what got me wanting to play metal again, you know. Just after a long time not doing it, not doing something, you know, something that I still listen to metal. How can you not? You know, once you love metal, you can't just stop.
Stay away.
Yeah, you know, so I mean, after a while, I just got the urge to, you know, play and record some music again, you know, but there's no specific reason other than I was just doing other things, man, you know.
Is there one band these days that, I don't know, that has your attention? Because I know so many bands have the means to record, so many bands are out there because they can hear it. So is there one band right now that you've been maybe following, or, I don't know, this band is the shit?
Well, I really like Gojira.
You do?
Yeah, yeah.
And they're French too.
Yes, they are French,
Yeah.
exactly. You know, I figured that would score big with your audience.
You know how to place a band, man. So if you go to Montreal, so Montreal would be Gojira too. But what about Gojira that makes you, I don't know, the groove musicianship?
It's just the whole thing. You know, they have a very unique vibe. You know, it's very heavy, but at the same time, it's very atmospheric. You know, it's brutal, but it's very melodic as well. I saw them live when they came to Florida
They're a
4 or 4 years ago. Yeah, they really are, man. I just dig the whole thing, you know.
And the fact that they speak French.
Yes, of course. Yeah, oui.
Because je pourrais te parler en français et tu comprendrais tout. Okay, I have one last question. Is there something that you miss from heavy metal, or do you miss the tours? I mean, I know it can be a grinding act. I know it can be difficult on your body. But do you miss it, honestly?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, some things, like you said, some things about touring are unpleasant. Some of the traveling that you do can be pretty unpleasant.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't get as much sleep that you would want to have. But you know, just to be in a live setting playing music in front of a crowd that really appreciates it, there's nothing like that in the world, you know. And of course, you know, my time that I spent playing in Death, you know, some of the best years of my life, I'll never forget it. You know, I met some friends that I still have to this day, and you know, I really, you know, I'm just very grateful that I was able to be a part of it, you know, and to just be there at the right place at the right time, and to have known Chuck, you know, who's just obviously an amazing person and very deeply missed, you know.
And you're in Quebec City right now talking with us, man. Dude, you're a lucky guy. You're a lucky guy.
I'm lucky I brought a jacket. I was like, man, you know, it's gonna be cold up there. Antoine's like, yeah, bring a jacket. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Oh, you should.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the 90s in Florida right now. Everybody's walking around naked. No clothes at all, you know, so.
Pour vous autres, je vais dire, fuck you, man. Don't say that to us. Come on. Bobby, thank you so very much.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, man.
My pleasure, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And by the way,